reason why Voyager had this golden record of human sounds and music was because this is one of the first several spacecraft launched with a
The universe is vast, silent, and indifferent. A canvas of infinite darkness, speckled with stars that burn with secrets we may never unravel. Yet in this boundless void, a tiny spacecraft, no bigger than a car, carries humanity's voice, a whisper of who we are, etched in gold, drifting farther than any human dream has ever dared to go. This is the story of Voyager 2, a 46-year-old messenger launched in 1977, when disco ruled the airwaves and computers were the size of refrigerators. It's a tale of loss, hope, and a miraculous rescue that made the entire world pause, hearts racing as we waited to hear if our farthest traveler was still out there, still speaking to us from the edge of forever. In July 2023, that voice went silent, and for 11 agonizing days, NASA's engineers held their breath, staring into the abyss, wondering if humanity's greatest emissary was lost forever. What happened next wasn't just a technical triumph. It was a moment that reminded us why we reach for the stars, why we dare to dream beyond the horizon, and why, even in our most desperate moments, we refuse to give up. Picture a spacecraft, alone, 12.9 billion miles from home, floating in a realm where the sun's warmth is a distant memory, where the stars are no longer just points of light, but neighbors in a cosmic neighborhood we're only beginning to understand. Voyager 2 was never meant to return. Launched with its twin, Voyager 1, it was designed to sail outward, past the planets, past the heliosphere, the protective bubble of our sun's influence, and into the uncharted waters of interstellar space. It carries a golden record, a time capsule of human hope, etched with music from Beethoven to Chuck Berry, greetings in 55 languages, the sound of rain, a baby's cry, a lover's laugh. This wasn't just a machine, it was a letter to the universe, a declaration that we exist, that we feel, that we dream. For nearly 5 decades, it dutifully sent back data, whispering secrets of Jupiter's swirling storms, Saturn's delicate rings, Uranus's icy mysteries, and Neptune's wild winds. It became the only spacecraft to visit all 4 outer planets, a feat no other probe has matched. And then, in a heartbeat, it was gone. On July 21st, 2023, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory sent a routine command to Voyager 2, a simple nudge to adjust its antenna, the kind of housekeeping that had kept this ancient traveler humming for decades. But this time, something went wrong. The antenna, a massive dish that beams signals across the cosmos, shifted just 2 degrees off course. 2 degrees, barely the width of your thumb, held at arm's length. It sounds trivial, but at 12.9 billion miles, that tiny misstep was catastrophic. The signal vanished. The Deep Space Network, a trio of massive radio telescopes in Australia, California, and Spain, strained to hear even a whisper. Nothing. Just the hiss of cosmic static, like the universe itself was holding its breath. For the engineers who had spent their careers tending to Voyager, it was as if a lifelong friend had stopped answering the phone. Suzanne Dodd, the project manager, admitted to the press, "We didn't know if we'd ever hear from it again." Those words carried a weight that echoed beyond the control rooms, a gut punch to anyone who understood what Voyager 2 represents. Imagine the stakes. This wasn't just a machine drifting in the void. It was humanity's farthest outpost, a relic of 1970s optimism still functioning in a realm so hostile it defies comprehension. No backup satellite could swoop in to fix it. No camera could show what went wrong. No repair crew could be dispatched across billions of miles. Voyager 2 was alone, beyond the reach of human hands, in a place where temperatures hover near absolute zero and cosmic rays batter anything that dares to exist. The silence was more than technical. It was existential. Had we lost our voice in the cosmos? Had the golden record, our love letter to the stars, been silenced forever? For 11 days, the world waited, unaware at first, as NASA's engineers worked around the clock, their eyes bloodshot, their minds racing. They swept the skies with radio telescopes, listening for any sign of life, any faint pulse from the darkness. Social media began to buzz with whispers of the lost spacecraft, and soon the story spread like wildfire, trending across platforms as people realized what was at stake. This wasn't just about a machine. It was about us, our legacy, our refusal to let go. Then on August 1st, 2023, a miracle. In Australia, a technician at the Deep Space Network station picked up a signal, so faint it was almost drowned out by the cosmic noise. At first it seemed like nothing, just another blip in the electromagnetic ocean. But this was different. It had a rhythm, a pulse, like a heartbeat from the edge of the universe. It wasn't the rich stream of scientific data Voyager usually sent, nor the detailed telemetry of its systems. It was simpler, more profound. A carrier wave, the electronic equivalent of a pulse, proving that Voyager 2 was still alive, still reaching out across 12.9 billion miles. NASA called it a heartbeat, and the term stuck, capturing the imagination of millions. BBC News ran headlines proclaiming the discovery. NPR and the Associated Press described it as a pulse from the depths of space. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram erupted, with number sign Voyager 2 trending worldwide as people shared the news that our cosmic ambassador was still out there, still fighting to be heard. It was a moment that reminded us how fragile our connection to the stars is, and how miraculous it is that we can still hear it at all. But a heartbeat wasn't enough. The signal was weak, too faint to carry meaningful data. Voyager was whispering, but Earth could barely make out the words. NASA faced an impossible challenge. How do you talk to a spacecraft whose antenna is misaligned by a cosmic hair's breadth across a distance so vast that light itself takes 19 hours to make the journey? The answer was something straight out of science fiction, an interstellar shout. Engineers at the Deep Space Network proposed using the most powerful radio transmitter on Earth, a behemoth normally reserved for critical missions, to blast a command sequence at Voyager's last known position. On August 4th, 2023, they took the gamble. Picture the scene. A control room filled with tense faces, screens glowing with data, as terabytes of commands raced into the void at the speed of light. It was like shouting into a storm, hoping someone on the other side of the galaxy would hear and understand. For over 19 hours, the signal soared past Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, beyond the heliopause, into the interstellar medium where no human technology had ever operated before. Then the impossible happened. Voyager 2 heard the call. Its onboard computer processed the commands, firing tiny thrusters to nudge the antenna back toward Earth. Suddenly, the silence broke. Telemetry flooded in, science data streamed from instruments that had been silently collecting secrets of interstellar space. The spacecraft was back, alive, talking as if nothing had happened. Suzanne Dodd's relief was palpable when she told the press, "We're back in business." Those 4 words carried the weight of decades of ingenuity, a triumph that echoed across the globe. Social media exploded with congratulations. From space enthusiasts to scientists to ordinary people moved by the story. News outlets called it one of the greatest space rescues in history, a testament to human persistence. But beyond the engineering feat, something deeper captured the world's heart. Voyager 2 wasn't just sending signals, it was rewriting our understanding of the cosmos, measuring the plasma, cosmic rays, and magnetic fields of interstellar space, a realm no human will visit for centuries. Every transmission was a postcard from the unknown, a reminder that we are part of something vast, something eternal. This wasn't just about saving a spacecraft. It was about preserving our connection to the stars, our hope that our voices, our music, our dreams might one day be heard by someone or something out there. The golden record, with its sounds of Earth, was still traveling, still carrying our story. When Voyager 2's heartbeat returned, it felt like the universe was saying, "I hear you." And in that moment, we were reminded that our greatest achievements come not when things are easy, but when we refuse to let go, when we shout into the void and trust that something will answer. The triumph of Voyager 2's recovery in August 2023 was like a spark in the darkness, a fleeting moment of hope that lit up the world. For a brief, glorious instant, it felt as if we'd snatched our cosmic messenger back from the jaws of oblivion. The news spread like a wildfire across X, TikTok, and every corner of the internet, with people sharing grainy images of the spacecraft, clips of the golden record's haunting melodies, and heartfelt posts about humanity's refusal to let go. Scientists celebrated, poets waxed lyrical, and ordinary people, far removed from the intricacies of space exploration, felt a tug at their hearts. This wasn't just a machine coming back online. It was a reminder that our dreams, no matter how old or frail, can still burn bright. But beneath the cheers and headlines, a quieter, more sobering truth loomed. Voyager 2, humanity's farthest traveler, was running out of time. Its power, drawn from a decaying nuclear heart, was fading, and NASA faced choices that no one wanted to make. The story of this rescue wasn't just about bringing a spacecraft back. It was about what it was still teaching us, what it was still whispering from the edge of forever, and why those whispers mattered more than ever. Voyager 2's golden record is more than a relic. It's a love letter to the universe, a snapshot of humanity at its most hopeful. When it launched in 1977, it carried the sounds of our world, waves crashing on shores, a mother's lullaby, the rhythmic beat of a human heart. It held greetings in languages from Akkadian to Zulu, and music that spanned centuries, from Mozart's delicate notes to the raw energy of Chuck Berry's guitar. There's even a recording of a woman's brainwaves, captured as she thought about love, as if we wanted the stars to know not just what we sound like, but how we feel. This record wasn't just for aliens, it was for us, a mirror reflecting our longing to be known, to be remembered. Every day Voyager 2 survives, it carries that record farther, a fragile capsule of our hopes drifting through the cosmic sea. When it went silent in July 2023, it felt like we'd lost more than a signal. It was as if our voice, our very essence, had been swallowed by the void. The recovery wasn't just a technical win. It was a reclamation of that voice, a refusal to let our story end. But what makes Voyager 2's whispers so vital even now isn't just sentiment. It's the science, the raw, unfiltered truth it's sending back from a place no human will touch for generations. Since crossing the heliopause in November 2018, Voyager 2 has been floating in interstellar space, a realm where the sun's influence fades and the galaxy's raw essence takes over. It's measuring things we can't study from Earth: plasma density, cosmic ray bursts, magnetic fields that weave the fabric of our galactic neighborhood. These aren't just numbers. They're clues to how our solar system fits into the cosmos, how it moves through a galaxy that's alive with forces we're only beginning to grasp. Scientists like Patrick Carney have called this data bonus science, but that feels too small a term. Every transmission is a revelation, rewriting textbooks, challenging models of how the heliosphere interacts with the interstellar medium. Voyager 2 has found cosmic ray spikes that defy predictions, plasma flows that suggest the galaxy is more dynamic than we thought, magnetic boundaries that hint at the invisible walls between star systems. It's like reading the first pages of a book no one else has opened. Yet every bit of data comes at a cost. Voyager 2 runs on a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, a nuclear battery fueled by plutonium that's been decaying since the Carter administration. Each year it loses about 4 watts of power, barely enough to light a Christmas bulb, but critical when you're running a spacecraft on the energy of a few dim LEDs. By 2023, NASA was already rationing power, making agonizing decisions about which instruments to keep alive. The Plasma Science Instrument, which once measured the solar wind and later studied interstellar plasma, was shut off in October 2024. It had been a workhorse, but its data was less critical now, and every watt saved could buy another day of life for the mission. Then in March 2025, NASA made an even harder call, turning off the low-energy charged particle detector, an instrument that had tracked cosmic rays since the 1970s. Suzanne Dodd explained the brutal math: keep everything running, and the mission could end in months. Turn off instruments strategically, and Voyager 2 might survive into the early 2030s. Each shutdown felt like losing a piece of the spacecraft's soul, a step closer to silence. These choices weren't just technical, they were deeply human. Imagine being an engineer who spent decades with Voyager, knowing its quirks, its rhythms, its stubborn refusal to quit. Every instrument you turn off is like dimming a light in a house you've lived in your whole life. But NASA's team didn't just mourn, they fought. They've been performing miracles of remote engineering, fixing problems across 12.9 billion miles with no room for error. In 2010, when Voyager 2's data turned to gibberish, they traced it to a single flipped bit in its computer memory, likely zapped by a cosmic ray. They sent a command to reset it, waiting nearly 40 hours for confirmation that it worked. It was like performing brain surgery with a telescope, blindfolded, from another planet. Later, when the main thrusters showed wear after 37 years, they activated backup thrusters that hadn't fired since the Reagan era. Against all odds, they worked, extending the mission by years. These weren't just fixes, they were acts of devotion, a testament to the ingenuity of people who refused to let a dream die. The world watched because this wasn't just about saving a machine. It was about what Voyager 2 represents in an age of fleeting attention spans and disposable tech. Built before the internet, before smartphones, before most of the engineers now tending it were born, it's a relic of a time when we built things to last, when we dreamed in decades, not days. Its survival feels like a defiance of our throwaway culture, a reminder that human ingenuity can create something enduring, something that carries our voice beyond our lifetimes. On X, people shared stories of their parents working on Voyager, of listening to the golden record as kids, of feeling a personal stake in this tiny probe's journey. It trended not because it was new, but because it was timeless, a story of resilience, curiosity, and the human spirit reaching for the infinite. But there's a shadow over this triumph. Every day, Voyager 2's power dwindles, and NASA knows the end is coming. The three remaining instruments, the magnetometer, plasma wave antenna, and cosmic ray telescope, are clinging to life, sipping power like a castaway rationing water. Engineers have squeezed every ounce of efficiency from 1970s tech. Reprogramming systems, compressing data, even uploading new software across billions of miles. But there's no stopping the plutonium's decay. By the early 2030s, if not sooner, the signals will fade, and Voyager 2 will drift on, silent, a ghost ship carrying humanity's hopes into the void. The thought is both heartbreaking and beautiful. It forces us to confront our own impermanence, but also our capacity to create something that outlasts us, something that speaks for us long after we're gone. This story gripped the world because it's not just about a spacecraft, it's about us. It's about the courage to send a piece of ourselves into the unknown, to shout into the cosmos and hope for an answer. When Voyager 2 came back online, it wasn't just a machine talking, it was humanity's heartbeat echoing across the stars. And as long as it keeps whispering, we keep listening, holding our breath, wondering what it will tell us next. The story of Voyager 2's rescue in August 2023 wasn't just a fleeting moment of triumph. It was a spark that reignited our collective wonder, a reminder that our reach extends far beyond the fragile confines of our planet. As news of the spacecraft's heartbeat pulsed across the globe, people didn't just cheer for a machine, they cheered for what it represents, our unyielding curiosity, our stubborn refusal to let the unknown silence us. On X, posts multiplied like stars, with users sharing clips of the Golden Record's eerie whale songs, heartfelt tributes to NASA's engineers, and questions about what we'd say to the cosmos today. This tiny probe, built with technology older than most of its caretakers, had done something extraordinary. It had made us feel connected to something vast, something eternal. But as Voyager 2 resumed its whispers from 12.9 billion miles away, a deeper truth lingered. Its time is running out, and with every passing day, we're forced to confront what it means to say goodbye to humanity's farthest traveler. Yet, in its final transmissions, Voyager 2 is teaching us not just about the cosmos, but about ourselves, about what it means to leave a legacy that echoes through the ages. Voyager 2's journey began in 1977, when it launched into a sky filled with possibility. It was part of the Grand Tour, a once-in-175 years alignment of the outer planets that allowed it to visit Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, a feat no other spacecraft has achieved. Its cameras captured Jupiter's swirling storms, Saturn's intricate rings, Uranus's pale blue mystery, and Neptune's tempestuous winds. It discovered moons, revealed volcanic worlds, and reshaped our understanding of the solar system. But its true legacy began when it crossed the heliopause in 2018, entering interstellar space, a realm where the sun's influence fades and the galaxy's raw essence takes hold. There it's measuring cosmic rays, plasma waves, and magnetic fields, sending back data that's rewriting our understanding of the universe's fabric. Every signal is a gift, a glimpse into a place no human will visit for centuries, if ever. Scientists pore over these transmissions, finding surprises in every bite. Spikes in cosmic rays that challenge models, magnetic anomalies that hint at unseen forces, plasma flows that suggest the galaxy is alive in ways we never imagined. But this miracle comes with a heartbreaking catch. Voyager 2's power, drawn from a plutonium-powered nuclear battery, is fading fast. By 2025, it's down to a whisper of energy, barely enough to keep 3 instruments alive. The magnetometer, mapping interstellar magnetic fields, the plasma wave antenna, listening to the galaxy's electromagnetic hum, and the cosmic ray telescope, tracking high-energy particles from distant stars. Each year, the spacecraft loses 4 watts, a slow bleed that forces NASA into impossible choices. In October 2024, they shut down the Plasma Science Instrument, a veteran of the mission's planetary flybys. In March 2025, the low-energy charged particle detector went silent, ending decades of cosmic ray data. Each shutdown is a wound, a step closer to the day when Voyager 2 will fall silent forever. Suzanne Dodd, the mission's steward, described the pain of these decisions. Every instrument turned off buys a little more time, but it's like losing a piece of a loved one. NASA hopes to stretch the mission into the early 2030s. But every day is a gamble, every transmission a small miracle. What makes this story resonate isn't just the science, it's the human ingenuity behind it. NASA's engineers have become cosmic mechanics, performing repairs across a distance so vast it takes light 19.5 hours to travel one way. In 2010, when Voyager 2's data turned to nonsense, they diagnosed a single flip bit in its memory, a speck of corruption from a cosmic ray, and fixed it with a command sent across billions of miles. When its thrusters began to falter, they activated backups dormant since the 1980s, coaxing them to life after decades of silence. They've sent software patches, reprogrammed instruments, and optimized power systems, all with no room for error. Every fix is a high-stakes dance, a 40-hour wait for confirmation that the patient is still alive. These engineers, many of whom weren't born when Voyager launched, have inherited a machine that's more like a family heirloom than a tool. Their dedication is a love letter to the dreamers of the 1970s, who built something so resilient it still speaks to us today. The golden record is the heart of this story, the emotional anchor that makes Voyager 2 more than a probe. It's a phonograph disc etched with humanity's essence. The sound of rain, a child's laughter, greetings in 55 languages, and music that spans cultures and eras. It carries diagrams of our solar system, the brainwaves of a woman in love, a message that says, "We are here and we are reaching out." When Voyager went silent, it felt like that message, our hope of being known by the universe, was at risk. Its return was a reminder that our voice still travels, carried by a machine that defies time and distance. On social media, people didn't just celebrate the engineering. They shared what they'd put on a new golden record today. Songs of resilience, stories of survival, images of a world grappling with change but still dreaming of the stars. The hashtag #Voyager 2 became a global conversation, a space where strangers connected over their shared awe, their shared hope that our story isn't over yet. As Voyager 2's power dwindles, we face a deeper question. What does it mean to let go? By the early 2030s, its signals will likely cease, and it will drift on, a silent ambassador carrying the golden record into the unknown. It's a thought that's both humbling and profound. We built something that will outlast us, that will carry our voice long after our cities crumble and our names fade. Linda Spilker, a NASA scientist, captured it perfectly. Every day could be our last, but that day could also bring another interstellar revelation. That duality, fragility, and possibility is why Voyager 2's story grips us. It's not just about a spacecraft. It's about our need to explore, to create, to leave something behind. It's about the courage to send a piece of ourselves into the void, knowing we may never see where it lands. The world watched Voyager 2's rescue because it's a mirror of our own hopes and fears. In an age of instant gratification, where tech becomes obsolete in months, Voyager 2 stands as a testament to what we can achieve when we think in generations. It's a reminder that our greatest adventures aren't in the quick wins, but in the long, patient pursuit of the unknown. When its final transmission fades, it won't be an end, but a beginning, a story that will inspire explorers for centuries to come. Voyager 2 has shown us that we can touch the stars, that we can build things that endure, that our voices can echo across the cosmos. And as long as we keep listening, the universe will keep whispering back,